Good morning, welcome all of you. Here we are having a interesting discussion on knowledge is within you. Most of the time, feel knowledge is ours. We are knowledgeable, we are learned. So many ways we are intellectuals. We know everything. We carry out the world. We are the highest degree holders. We know the concept. With us, the knowledge is being spread out many ways we claim that we are knowledgeable, knowledge is with us, but thing is that that is a fractional truth, partial truth. That's what we don't know. Reason, knowledge, but actually we are yet to. These are all the mental conceptions, the mental preparations, and of course everything has emerged out of mind. But thing is that above the mind, a lot of things there. In the darkness, our mind gropes out to find something. That is what knowledge. But wisdom, that is what we see in the spirit's vision, in the sight of the psychic. So that is what wisdom. But thing is that we must know that the knowledge is within you, within us. That's what mother quotes and mothers try to explain. And on education, mother is having a beautiful observation on that one. Nothing can be taught, all is within. Nothing can be taught. We claim to teach you. Teachers means who teaches is a teacher. But thing is that they don't know. They are least aware that knowledge is within you. Nothing can be taught. All is within. It is the duty of the teacher to bring out the vested knowledge, stored knowledge that is sleeping within you to the outward side, so that it can be spread out in a very accomplished, very moderate way. Anyway, we'll read knowledge is within you, mother course. There is one thing certain about the mind and its workings. Mind and its workings. It is that you can understand only what you already know in your own inner self. Very interesting. What you know already in the inner self. Thing is that we are not actually aware of our inner self. You know, the external self, and living, going deep within, you can find our inner self. Then comes the inmost self, that is the psychic being. External mind, external vital, external physical. Then your comes inner mind, inner vital, inner physical. Then comes the inmost self, that is psychic being. So what is you can understand only what you have already know in your inner self. In the inner self, what you already know, that is what being stored in that hard disk, that is the inner self, that is only known clearly, and of course very transparently. You can see everything, you can know. What strikes you in a book is what you have already experienced deep within you. You go for the unknown, you inquire about an unknown book, you bring it out, you try to read to some extent. Actually problem is that what is already within, experienced within you, that's what is well well known when the book strikes you. When what strikes you in a book, in a, suppose you are reading that book, is totally unknown for you. You have come forward, you are seeing, you are reading them word for word, or line by line, page by page. Something strikes you, something strikes you. Don't imagine that it is new to you. It has been well understood by your inner self. That's what you clearly understand. You don't get confused there. A man find a book or a teaching very wonderful, and often you hear them say, this is exactly what I myself feel and know. That is that spontaneously something is coming. This is exactly what I myself feel and know, but I could not bring it out or express it as well as expressed here. That's what. In the book, something is written that strikes you, that attracts you. But thing is that you feel that time, I know this thing. I thought to bring it out, but I could not. That ability is not there, but I know. That's what I will quote the mother sentence. This is exactly that I myself feel and know. Exactly, I feel and know, because you are already you in your inner self, you have read, understood, and gone through. but I could not bring it out or express it as well as it is expressed here. As well expressed here, I could not bring you. That was my inability. But the thing is that what is striking me, what is actually touching me, that I know. When men come across a book of true knowledge, very interesting. When men come across a book of true knowledge, each finds himself there because that idea, that knowledge, that concept, it is already taught, it is already understood, it is already stored, it is already known by your inner self. And at every new reading, he discovers things that he did not see in it at first. It opens to him each line, each time, a new field of knowledge that had till then escaped him in it. Something escaped. He finds it in new. He finds it because he is going through. But that is because it reaches layers of knowledge. Why this concept is coming, Mother clarifies. It reaches layers of knowledge that is that we are waiting for expression. Waiting for expression. Something is waiting in you for expression you don't know. That is what something waiting for expression in the subconscious in him, which is really subconscious. You know, subconscious. The meaning is that something some in the subconscious something awaits. You have forgotten. Nothing really dies, perishes. What in once in subconscious was existing. That's why. So it reaches layer of knowledge, and it was waiting for expression in the subconscious in him. Nothing is wholly dead that in you was once born or once lasting. It is there. Then what happens? The expression has now been given by somebody else, and much better than he could himself have done it. This is what now this expression is outside, but this expression you have experienced inwardly. You are in your inner self, but once, mother quotes, but once. What happens here? It is expressed. He immediately recognizes it because he knows. Remember why thou camest. It means that already you know it. You have come, and not once or twice, many times you have come to this point. So just remember. Unknown means you have not at all. You don't know. You have not at all come here. You have no idea. You are unaware of all these things. So expressed. He immediately recognizes it and feels that it is the truth because already with this concept, with the idea, with the thing, with the understanding, it is very much he's accomplished. Accomplished. He knows most of the times he has a crossed over, come across, and traded this path. So it is not known, new for him. The knowledge that seems to come to you from outside is only occasion for bringing out the knowledge that is within you. You are gaining, you feel that you are gaining some knowledge from outside, but honestly speaking, it is everything is was stored in you and it is coming. This inner expression, it is becoming as knowledge on the outside, maybe through books or from idea or from any concept or from some teachings, anyway. But thing is that everything was well inside you. That concept you must understand. Again, we are going reading that awakens. So suppose it is there inside us. So what we have to do? We have to bring it out. Already I have told the quoting mother's message. Nothing can be taught. All is within. Teacher's duty is to bring everything to from outside, from inside outward. That is the rule. It has to be brought out. That is the niyam. That is the rule. But here the thing is that reading that awakens when the thing is written that awakens, it indicates, it actually clarifies that something is slipping. Unawakened state in you, that's what we must understand. So that reading, through reading, what happens actually, these things which we are sleeping and unawakened in you, that comes to the fore, that awakens. So we have to go to read and read and read while quoting who is really explaining on Sri Aurobindo. Mother quotes, the only way to know Sri Aurobindo is to read and read and read. Read and read and read, not one or two. Again and again you have to do. So you, as long as your consciousness enlarges, enlightens, so then only with this only you can be able to know the truth. So, mother quotes, for those who are seeking, who grow, who are not absolutely sure, who are pulled this way and that, have many interests in life. Mother quotes of different types of people, for those who are seeking, number one. Number two, who grow, number three, who are not absolutely sure, number four, who are pulled this way and that, this way or that, pulled away, and then have many interests in life, but are not steady, stabilized in their will for realization. It is very good to read, because it puts them in touch with the subject. It gives the some interest in the thing. Mother course, that consistency must be there, concentration to power to put everything on a single point. But thing is that different kinds, different varieties of people you will find. Somebody will be having means they are, may not be concentrated, moving here and there, they are pulled this way or that way, have many interests in life, not steady, stabilized in their will for realization. So these items, who grow, who are not absolutely sure, who are seeking, different kinds of people, mother quoting again, and stabilized in their will for realization. It is very good to read for them. Actually, it is very good to read. After reading, they will come to a point. They will come for the concentration. They will put in all the haphazard thoughts in a single point, because it puts them in touch with the subject, puts them in subject in touch with the subject. It gives them some interest in the thing. With the reading, two things are there. You get in touch with the subject, and second thing, interest in the thing. So for them, because without unconcentrated, they are searching, they are unstable, they grow not absolutely sure. For them, actually, reading is a must. They must read, and with reading, they get the wins, because they are not aware of, not that much conscious. So they must read and read. So there is a kind of reading, other quotes. There is a kind of reading which awakes in you an interest in the thing. You can quote Francis Bacon. Some read to be, some books to be read, some to be chewed, some to be digested, and some to be assimilated, and some to be concentrated. Most of the types of books, from beginning to end, most of the time, how you have to read and how you have to take it in your own mental conception. So there is a kind of reading which awakens you an interest in the thing and can help you in fast seeking usually. So some kind of books are there, some kind of read there. It will help you in interest. It will create some interest and in the fast seekings. Usually, even if one has had experiences, one needs a contact of thought. One needs a contact of thought or idea with the thing. Contact of thought or idea with the thing, that the effort may be crystallized more consciously. So the external thoughts might be there through the reading. Second, but the more one knows, the more one must be absolutely sincere in his expertise, experience. More one knows, how can we know? So you have to read, you have to gather your ideas, you have to gather your knowledge, you have to cross in. So the more one knows, the more one must be absolutely sincere in his experience. That is, he must not use the formative power of his mind to imagine and so create the experience in himself. So he must not use the formative power of his mind to imagine and to create the experience in himself. For that, you have to get the formative power in mind to imagine and to create experience. You have to, somebody has to read. From the point of view, the orientation, it can be useful. But from the point of orientation, it is useful. But from the point of view of experience, it takes away from the dynamic value, because you are seeking through reading, you are getting some experience. But the thing is that if you are really you are point that is useful from the orientation point of view. For the usually from the experience point of view, it actually pulls you away, takes you away from the dynamic value. It has not intensity of experience which comes because the moral and the spiritual conditions necessary for it to occur has been fulfilled. Because reading more and more, concentrating more, staying on this reading line and knowing things, seeking things, thing is that you get your moral and spiritual conditions occur have been fulfilled. Comes because moral and spiritual conditions necessary for it. That is not there, so there is the whole mental conditioning, reading and all experiencing these are the mental conditionings which are added and it takes away from the thing of the something of spontaneity. So reading mental phenomenon thing is that in one way inner value it needs two things. One is spiritual conditions, but thing is only we are living on the surface on the moral value on the very top. So for that only it is taking away from the spontaneity. All this is a matter of proportion, how proportionately you are moving inside. Each one must find the exact amount of needs. Each one must find the exact amount of needs, how much of reading, how much meditation, how much concentration, and so much. For that actually reading on entire time, entire day, entire thing life you are wasting your time in reading and reading. But thing is that reading is necessary, that awakens which awakens most of the things that have been come across already through knowledge. We have seen most of the things that are there. It is absolutely necessary to bring them out. That is what. But thing is that only reading means you are staying in the mental concept. That idea is there. But for the spiritual purpose, it needs something more. So, mother course, each one must find what is the exact amount he needs, how much of reading, how much of meditation, how much of concentration, how much like this you have to decide. So it is the different for each one. It depends upon the nature and of course consciousness of the sadhaka, the necessity and the requirement of the sadhaka. For that actually you must be conscious, because this awakening is necessary. But the thing is that some concentration, spiritual concentration is absolutely necessary. For that, quoting it again, nothing can be taught, all is within. Knowledge is within, no doubt of it. It has to be emerged out, it has to come out. For that, there is necessity of a guide, necessity of guru, necessity of teachers. So, teachers ought to be a yogi, because unless otherwise he knows yoga, so how can he be able to penetrate inside to know the get the spiritual knowledge, experience, and with the spiritual guidance, he can guide the followers. For that, actually, this must be knowledge is within, reading that awakes whatever is unawakened, unconscious state, and the sleeping condition, it has to come out. Anyway, it is a time for us to stop here. Thank you.